Welcome back, people.
Back in the building.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Hola, hi, Espanol, everything in one. You know, we got.
Man, I'm trying to care for everybody in that.
Yeah, we got listeners all over.
Say something stupid, go on.
I'm not gonna say something stupid. I refrain from that this time. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of Black Dad's Magic. Wow, the Drillana actually let me do this.
Jeez,
I know.
intros.
You're still doing this.
Man, I'm leveling up.
We're up now, innit?
Get them up.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing for 2023. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see,
Put your kids on a sugar high. Next time around.
Energy.
yeah. Once again, welcome back to another episode of Black Dad's Magic. Today we got the usual myself, Kester.
Myself, Patrick, aka. I'm not going to go on.
And the responsible adult in the room. For that.
And
We need
Charlotte's
one
too.
from time to time. We tend to go off tracks. But yeah, in today's episode, you know what we do with the Transparent Dads. We just talk about anything that's happening in our lives, whether it's the new problems, we try to find solutions, whether it's new happiness, whether it's new joys, whether it's new milestones. It's a lot that's been happening. And like I said, 2022 is here. We're thankful for being here, alive and well. We have lost a lot of people. Well, not us in general, but a lot of people lost their lives for the past 2 years due to different reasons. But we're here, we're happy, we've got a family.
Come on.
Lads,
We got life.
we're happy, man. Just be thankful.
Literally.
And then this guy's supposed to be on a diet because for the wedding, he's eating chips and drinking Coke. Then he's going to get to the wedding and be like, bruh, what
I didn't
happened?"
even say nothing. Obviously, that's what we're doing.
Right.
I'm
Obviously,
just saying,
you've seen what
innit?
we're doing,
I'm trying to be a
a man
supportive
work
friend.
for 3 days of the year and have all the time in the world.
Listen, I didn't even get to say this in the first episode, but it was my birthday on Monday, you know, the Wednesday.
We're
Big
getting there.
man,
That's what we
man.
got to
Yeah,
drink.
yeah.
Bruv. You don't know. We
got-
planned it. We're
cheers,
getting
cheers
there.
to the-
On birthday.
To us, yeah. Ready again. Let's
Yeah,
go.
But nice. I want to start this one, yeah, with a video. The one of it's rare. It's rare, yeah. That I think I got shared it in another Fathers Forum group chat that I'm in as well. So yeah, big up the guys in Fathers Forum on that piece as well. And but it's just rare, and it was nice. You know, like you see. Pardon, sorry. You see it like on a regular, yeah.
Yeah.
More mums big up other mums, and obviously dads big up other dads. But this particular scenario, yeah, it's rare, and it was nice.
Run the
Like,
clip.
but, you know what,
It's-
Phoebe,
the
if you
suspense
could-
is just killing me.
Play it. You can play it.
I'll tell you how much I appreciate you. You know, this is a new journey for all of us, and I can't express how much that I appreciate you, how you look after my kids as your own. Like, really, words can't express how much I appreciate you. You know, being a father, you know, you're like, man, I don't want to have someone, you know, looking after my kids and another man in my kid's life. You know, even like my best friends, like, hey, man, this is stuff that you pray for. You know, you want to have a good man in your kid's life. A lot of people who, if it ain't their kids, they don't want to do nothing or be a part of it, you know. But you embrace them and protect them, provide for them. We have no drama, you know, we communicate. And this is just an early Christmas gift just to show my appreciation for you. And I just want you to know, words can't express. And you can open up. That's my appreciation right there.
He's got one arm in it.
It looks like his hands on a sling.
Oh, mad.
Yes, it's in a sling.
Do you know what? You see that video, yeah? I rate that highly. As a father, as a man in general, my respect it still.
The thing is, he said something, yeah, which was integral. It's where he went, we don't have any dramas. But a couple sentences before that, you want your child to be raised somewhere happy, someone with the right morals, basically. And a man said, thank you, like, for raising my kids as your own. Like, as growing up, you don't want
that's a
another man
lot,
raising
you know.
you. Like, when you think the realization of it, you don't want another man raising your child.
100%.
And he was like, bro, we don't want another man raising our child, but you've taken my kids. Like, we don't know the backstory between him.
I was
and
about to
mom,
ask you, did you
with everything,
research the backstory?
Nah, I didn't have time. We don't know what the backstory is, yeah. But as you can see in the video, that there's more kids around him as well. and he's like, I'm coming to you as a man, hands out. Obviously, he's got one arm in a sling, so I can't really do hands out, but I appreciate
How
what
you've raised
you've done and how you've raised my kids, because again, we don't know the backstory. One could be lacklustered, whilst the stepdad
We could have gone jail or
or anything.
Yeah.
But he went out his way to show that appreciation. That listen, I see what you're doing, bro.
It's not gone unnoticed.
It's not gonna.
I'm not that guy that's gonna come and cause drama and problems and be like, don't be near my kids and rare. Because obviously, like we said, we don't know the
can be
backstory,
a
so it might
negative
not be
effect.
his ground too. But at the end of the day, it's still his kids at the end of the day, so he has all rights to be around them at the end of the day. But yeah, no, that was nice to see, man. Like,
First of all,
that takes a lot of courage and strength as a man to do that, you know.
bro.
it's two reasons, right? He said what he said, and it was very genuine, and you can see it coming from the heart. Secondly, he gave man J's. Do you know the price for Jordans, man?
And then $2 bills in it.
He gave him a Jordans.
US.
And them Americans, they size 20. You know, that means the price is triple, bro. Yeah? He gave him J's, so that's to show you the level of respect he has for him. And it's the thing is, like, we need to, even though luckily enough for us at this present time that we don't have to go through none of that. We still with our partners, we still in a happy relationship, and we don't have to go through that. But I've seen people, and we've all know people that would say, right, I don't want you to bring that man around my child, or I don't want you. But they don't know that man. It's just because it's another man.
Yeah, like
or another woman.
And that's literally
It's
what the guy's
literally-
saying. He's like,
yeah.
"Rah, no one wants your someone else raising another man raising you."
Yeah.
Because obviously there's that.
We don't know.
unknown factor.
That guy could maybe not be able to have children. You see what I'm trying to say? to you?
Yeah.
So now he's in that situation where he's gonna raise his children like if it was.
It was his.
own.
But
I've seen that.
even with that, yeah, like let's break this whole thing down. First off, man put his pride down. Because as men, we're proud. Especially as dad, we're very proud. As black men, we're super proud.
100.
And a man put his whole pride down to be like, listen, you're on game. Like, I've got no qualms. It's like, I've looked at my kids and I'm happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Irrespective of whether we know if he's playing his part or not.
Yeah.
But a man's put his pride out the way.
But the
If
thing
anything,
is,
you
yeah,
can
even
say-
if he's not, that's still the pride. Is the mad fact. The thing is, yeah, even if he's not playing his part, or even if he is playing his part, but it's to take the acknowledgement to say thank you.
Yeah.
That's
to
what I'm
say
saying.
that-
As in the dad that the paternal dad,
Yeah.
the stepdad. So the paternal dad, he put his pride
Yeah.
down.
Absolutely.
Put that away, and I'm gonna own up to, and I'm gonna acknowledge you as another man who essentially we're at a standoff here where it's like one alpha male versus the other, or my grounds because it's my kid.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But man said, forget all of that. Let the real be real. You have been doing the job.
See, and that goes.
You're
without
doing
saying.
something that I'm proud of. Like,
Takes a village to raise a
you know what I
child.
mean?
Yeah, and I think, like I said, like I always say, the presence over present, and I feel like just because of him just being there, present and active in their his kids' lives, obviously.
You got a present.
I'm really.
Got present, you know the ones there, guys.
But
Literation and
I'm intrigued to actually, if this was a movie, I'd want to see what the stepdad used to do for him to be like, you know, like a Medea movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Now Patrick's gonna write it. Patrick's gonna script write it.
Watch it.
but what's it called?
It doesn't happen. We don't see it.
in this country.
This is why. Well, they're definitely not in the country. But this is why I brought it to the conversation, to the podcast, because when I saw it, I thought back on it like, raw. Why don't we see it? Because there's no way this is the only case of that.
Because man have too much pride. Like it's there's a lot of pride involved, and like you were saying as well, certain man will be like, "What? You ain't bringing on." Obviously, certain man still want to have control over the baby mom because they know what they lost. You see what I'm trying to say to you? So it's just like, bruv, boom, boom, you ain't bringing no next man around, or the girl has to hide the next person that they're seeing. So there's not going to be that level of appreciation because there's never given a chance. They're not given a chance to. Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to
there's
say?
also, and that's correct, I'm not going against that, but there's also that unknown factor of you don't know the other person, so you don't know what sort of upbringing
That's
they can
true.
put on a child. So I hear that to a degree, but definitely what you said is 100%.
But when you don't give the opportunity to find out, then that's just stupid.
No, that's why I said
just
I
being
agree with
narrow-minded.
I agree with Patrick, but there's also that of unknown. You don't know what the other person like.
But it's a
And then-
big space in general just to take on somebody else's kid. Me personally, as life's got older and I've had kids, maybe. But back then, I don't
absolutely.
believe I was I'm
Absolutely.
able to.
We
that-
had this
that's
conversation.
true. We had it
Like
before.
I said I was selfish.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I was selfish because I don't want to be raising no other man's. That child, I want to be my seed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be raising no other because obviously
That's-
at the time
yeah.
when we was younger, it's a lot of baby mama drama, baby
Yeah.
father drama.
That's the
And I
drama,
didn't
bro.
want
And
that.
the main thing for me was the drama.
Yeah.
I didn't want the drama, bro.
Yeah, but it was
and I
just-
wanted
it
my
was just
unit.
maturity.
Yeah.
You could look at yourself now and say, "Rah, I'm more mature now."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
100%.
parent.
Yeah, yeah,
You get
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Even
Selfish
if we
was
weren't a
back then.
parent, now I do believe if none of us were a parent now, we wouldn't have that same opinion.
It's true,
then.
it's
Do you know
true,
what I mean?
it's
It's about
true.
because obviously it's growing through life, innit? But it's like I feel like that happens here, but it's more of a I rate it. Still,
I rate it still, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not a proper conversation to say, you know what? The past 4 or 5 years, you've looked after. I've liked what you've instilled in them, X, Y, and Z. Like because if that happens more, I feel like there'll be a lot of hostility that won't be there. The stigma around stepdadism or stepdad won't be there. You know,
Yeah.
and it'll be and like you said,
Sorry, let me
like,
look that word up. Hold on.
don't worry about
But
it.
you
We're
know-
out here reinventing stuff.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, so like you alluded to earlier, and you yourself, then the person in the middle, being the kids and the mom, won't feel like they're in that bad space of, I can't have him around here,
Or bring him over at night time.
or like, the dad's coming so that
You have to
the
go.
partner has to be aware because it's gonna be tense or anything like that. Like that, I'm mad proud of. Like,
Oh yeah.
I plan to keep that video forever. because
Absolutely.
It does like we don't see
Absolutely.
it.
That
We
went
don't see
viral, innit?
I think so. We don't see it.
Yeah.
But the thing is as well, even if we don't are in that situation, if we are not in that situation, we as men, we should still acknowledge other men when they're doing something right with the kids. To say, because as men, I'll say to myself, when you guys message me or someone, even my auntie or whoever messaged me, my cousins in a group chat say, we're very proud of you, look you're doing, whatnot, it makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel good, and it breaks down barriers in terms of I will open up more and I'll have a conversation and I will talk and I will talk and I will talk and I will talk and I will talk. So if it's not the partner of the thing, but just as friends, as families, just acknowledge it, the fact that I appreciate what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, when that child goes left, who's to blame?
And you know what? You have to be really real now, It's like when people share similar situations, let's just hypothetically say, like what we're all in right now, parent with partner, whatnot, you understand me? It's rare within our community, especially, do you see what I'm trying to say to you? But at the end of the day, it's one of those ones where it brings unity amongst us all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Really deep it now, because you have to really look at it, If we didn't have this podcast or we didn't even have kids right now,
Yeah.
it's like how often will we still see each other?
You know-
and how often will we have these kind
I
of
agree.
conversations?
Mad. I think we'll still see each other.
We'll still see each other,
Yeah.
but how often will we have these kind of conversations? Even if let's say
Yeah.
even if we had a kids, let's say we didn't even do the podcast, but how often would we have these conversations if we didn't have the podcast?
I reckon, because look at what the three of us are like.
Yeah.
So if we're going somewhere, one of us have like a real life moment all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
absolutely.
time. And 9 times out of 10 it's Patrick.
Absolutely.
9 times out of 10 it's Patrick. Patrick be like, "Raw, have you lot ever really deeped X, Y, and Z?" And Z?"
Yeah.
So I reckon between
Funny
the
enough,
three of
people,
us-
that's exactly how the voice note will start. Raw, do you guys ever deep this?
Yeah. And if like, even look when we're going carnival, like Patrick bring out something completely different. You know what I mean? So I think between the three of us, or between our group, it will happen there. Because there's people within our group that will have that. But in society as a whole, especially in the father segment and the black father segment of society as a whole, like, this needs to be publicized. Man. This sort of stuff happens. Like, I maybe I'm just a hopeless dreamer in it. Like, I think these stuff sort of happen because obviously we're all in touch with this sense of a friend that is a stepfather or is not with their partner and their partner has a part, or the mother of the child has a partner. So they're in that space and it's more like things like this will distill that sort of hostility in it.
Yeah, 100.
Because at the end of the day, if that person's doing right by your child, especially in your absence, because that's what's important, isn't it? When you're not there, you don't really have a say or a ground.
Yeah, you can't be ignorant towards it.
Yeah.
Is it ignorant, arrogant, whatever?
Both.
Yeah.
It's literally both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then a person's doing there, bro, your flowers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to go out there and buy a man Jordans for it.
No,
if,
you don't.
If so, and you just want to give a dad
Let a man-
Jordans,
yeah.
I'm size 8.
Because you let a man feel good with Big man, behave.
To me,
No, but
innit?
let a man feel like he's doing something that he doesn't have to be. If he is a stepfather, he doesn't have to be secretive about it. He doesn't have to creep in and be around the person that he likes being around and being a father. Because certain men, I feel like it's that pride within themselves that they don't want to overstep that boundary at the end of the day, just because of how society is.
I get what you're
See I'm
saying,
trying to
but
say?
this is when it's as men, mature men, we should have the conversation. Be like, big man, can I have a conversation with you outside? Obviously.
That one's kind of mad still. I talk to you outside, it's a bit techie, innit?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who's outside.
I don't know. Why you offering me outside?
That's what we
bro?
did here is
Why can't we
wild.
talk there? Like, what's wrong
wild.
inside?
But let's have a conversation. Obviously, you know, I'm in Shaniqua's life now, yeah. So obviously, you got a little one together, and we see a relationship going further. I just want to know. I'm not asking for your permission.
Wait, we're doing role play.
No, bro, we're not doing that. What's wrong with you?
No, as in you're having this conversation.
No, I'm
Patrick,
just
Patrick
doing
was about to play the girlfriend.
The way I was talking,
Patrick is about to be Shaniqua now. No, I'm just saying. It's like, look, listen, I'm not asking
I'm
for your
worried that
permission.
Patrick was getting
I
into
know,
the role play,
I
but
know,
we'll go into
I
that
know.
another time.
I'm not asking for permission. I'm just here to say this is what it is and this is where we're going. Do you have any like concerns? Let's talk it out now so we don't have no miscommunication. If men in general can do that approach, I think it's a lot of tensions.
Yeah, no, that's
I've seen a lot. When I was at college, when I was at uni, I've seen baby mothers and baby fathers and the partners outside. What are you doing here? What are you saying?
Swinging it out.
It's just like, what's the point? What's the reason for it? I don't like the way you looked at me. You didn't have that. You didn't
Yeah,
have
that's not the
audacity.
real reason.
Or you
That's
didn't
not
have
the real reason.
audacity.
Yeah.
Just because it can be the simple thing because you're not getting the sugar wars no more. He's pissed off.
yeah,
Yeah.
But, you know,
Literally.
on that bit of like appreciation and reconciliation. So obviously this year, in January, end of January.
You went away, didn't you?
So
Tell us about that story.
man's been away bare and that, like man's trying to be like my guy.
People, yeah, my guy is catching more flights than Boris when it was lockdown, you know. Let's just say this, Bob.
obviously it's my.
He was catching more flights than Boris.
So obviously it was Eb's 30th at the start of the month, so took her away. We went away, and was wicked. Went Iceland, Northern Lights, the whole thing, fantastic. But then near the end of the month, my sister's getting married.
Yeah.
So, as you lot know already, there's 6 months difference between my sister.
Yeah.
So she get married in the States. So obviously we had to fly to the States now. That in itself presented the opportunity for reconciliation or a meeting for me and my dad and my siblings.
Wait, was you lot talking on this lead up, or was it kind of a surprise
Yeah, so
thing?
we've been talking since May was born. Like this when he came in my life again when I was 16, reached out for the first time, boom bam, we spoke for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Then he disappeared. Then he come back again, just digitally he came back. There was messages. And then he started video calling and stuff. Literally year May was born. So and when we was in Jamaica, we spoke and blah blah blah. So obviously because of all of that now, when my sister get married and she get married in the States because her fiance is in the States.
Yeah.
So obviously we've gone there now, and I said to my sister beforehand, look, obviously we're gonna have the discussion around me and my dad. We're gonna have the discussion.
Why?
around what happened? Or like for me, I'm not coming here to get closure.
Yeah.
I've had closure. You weren't there.
Yeah.
There is nothing else that is gonna change that.
Was you nervous
not
on
gonna
this
change.
lead up?
No.
Do you know what I'm nervous? Because I'm not gonna lie. Sorry to cut you, bro. Like, obviously I've got a sister in foreign in it, so it's just like I've never asked that question.
But the thing, I came for understanding.
Yeah.
I want to understand what was happening
Yeah.
in 1990 to 1991 because
Yeah.
he cut when I was
Okay.
born.
What without
Yeah.
no,
We cut.
just cut.
When I met him
Yeah.
a few weeks ago or a month ago, was literally the first time we've ever been consciously physical together in a physical space.
you remember.
Yeah, because
at
obviously
least.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I said to my sister, look, we ain't gonna have the conversation for the wedding, just in case it's not wild, and I have to like drop you.
I have to take the chain and take the earring.
Even to the point
Catch me
where,
outside, bitch.
even to the point where like me and my sister, like my sister's my first best friend growing up, innit? We've got different moms.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So really, it's me that should be walking her down the aisle.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
told my dad and my sister that I said, I'm walking her down the aisle, you know.
Yeah.
So we had a little joke about it and stuff, and then I said to my sister separate, I was like, look, I know it's the thing that every girl wants to have their dad walking down the aisle. So I don't want to put you in that space. Let him take you down the aisle, innit? Because I'm already a groomsman.
Yeah.
I'm already a groomsman.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
makes sense.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, said to my, we're gonna have the conversation. So we spent we got there like several days before, like a few days before. The journey was mental. I'll tell you on the next recording. And the night before the wedding, the morning of the wedding, we started the conversation, but we started from now backwards instead of reverse.
Okay.
Around the family and stuff, and then after the wedding now, literally the night of the wedding, me, my dad, and my younger brother, who's not that much younger than me, but we're like 4 or 5 years, was sitting by the table. I promise you, the conversation probably started about 9 o'clock. We didn't finish talking till like 3 in the morning. Right. And it's literally...
I miss those conversations though, just in general with people, but yeah, I fully feel
like,
it's intense.
We were talking, and then I was like, look, let's go back to... Tell me what was going on between 1990, 1991. And my dad wanted us to go to a pub. He doesn't really drink.
Yeah.
So he's saying, is there any pub nearby? So we'll go in it. But where we were in Baltimore, there wasn't really none of that. And we probably had like 2 or 3 days left. So I don't want this opportunity to go and we don't have it. Again, this is the first time I'm meeting my dad.
Because it's different between face to face and over the phone.
And first time I'm meeting my brother and my 2 of my sisters that are there. So there's a lot of first. And the first time they're meeting May as well. You know, and it's whilst we're there talking, bro, sitting down and seeing someone you don't know, but seeing yourself with them, in them, mental. Like mannerisms, the way he delivers his jokes, mental. It's like this man spent the last 5 to 10 years profiling me and trying to make sure that once he meets me, he's just like me.
So you basically said, okay, this guy's kind of funny, yeah. So let me
do it.
Chi bars.
We was at the rehearsal for the wedding, and he was being an absolute ass, but a funny ass. And I'm watching it. I'm literally in awe. Like, these are the sort of stuff I say. This is how I deliver it. So when my mom's like, you like your dad, yeah? Bro, I've never met the man in my life. So then I remember he left us. So I'm thinking, nah. Because even my brother Ben, that was there, Ben's like, one, his name's Ben, don't ask me. We were there, Ben was like observing our conversation. And he was like, just seeing us talking, he was like, he can see me and my dad. He can see my dad in me. And like that sort of thing, like for the most part, threw me back because I'm like, how? Like that's when, you know, genetics.
Did he explain it though? Huh? Did he explain?
Yeah, we went through it because again, that's why I said from 1990 to 1991, because obviously there's a 9 months pregnancy. Before that, there was some sort of relationship. So we talked through that because me and my sister were 6 months apart.
Okay.
So he needed to explain that part for me, and without going straight to all the details of it, what was key and what I was looking for to understanding is where your head was at and how comes you never came back. You know, and explain the situation that was there, and the accountability is what I was looking for. And there was a lot of accountability on his part. And like, he was like, he'll hold his hand up and say where he's been in his shortfall. And he was like, one of the things that he's always been and we continue to be is grateful and respectful for my mom and for my sister's mom. I call her my auntie because he's like, he was complacent because he knew the caliber of women they were. So he was like,
took them for granted.
Not even just that, but he was complacent in the sense that he knew that they were strong and good women that are going to raise the kids good. So even in his absence, so that's where he was complacent.
I know that sounds bad, but it's a compliment towards them.
Yeah, that's what. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And that's also him. He was like, I was complacent with that. No, he didn't. When he explained, I said, so you were complacent? And he was like, yeah. He was like, because he knew we were going to be good. No matter what, they were going to make sure we're good. Even if it's just them by themselves. And he's got the most respect for them. That's why he will never, ever say a single bad word.
So did he share his journey with you, like, after, obviously, he left and that? Like,
yeah, because from 1990 to 1991, we explained what
happened,
was going on in that transactional period.
Yeah.
Then, because at that point, after I was born, he migrated to the US. And there was a lot, like, the whole of that journey we went through because I was trying to understand, cool. So we unraveled, unwrapped the year leading up to my birth. Let's continue the timeline. How did my other siblings came about? You know, because that's what's key. Because then,
so how many siblings you got now?
on my dad's side, in total, there's 10 of us. So obviously, with all the siblings on there, and going through his fatherhood journey there, he was like, he saw that as his second chance at being a dad properly, in the
10
sense
times.
that.
No, I'm not trying to joke.
Yeah,
10 times, but
You have to remember.
Remember, my older brother.
That's a G, bro.
No, but remember, yeah. But I've got an older brother.
Yeah.
Then my sister, that's 6 months older, and then me. So that's 3 alone in Jamaica. Then obviously,
then 7 times.
then 7 later. Yeah. So in the all the kids to come,
The Thomas
the
Foundation.
other
you
kids
know?
to come, he was the first 2 after myself.
Yeah.
Then he was like, it presented to him the opportunity to do fatherhood right.
Yeah.
You know, and
And
put
you know-
into what he hasn't been doing for us. Because what sort of, like, without going into it, what he was trying to sort out whilst he was there, and his plan was, once he's steady up there, was then going to try and get me and my sister and my brother migrated up there.
So
Don't know how that was going to go down with my mum.
Yeah.
Because he's lost it.
So his whole notion for kind of moving out there was to kind of build a life and just to kind of make it.
Sustain.
That is a part of what the plan was.
Plan was yeah. Because
But obviously,
Things didn't go to plan.
things didn't go to plan, and he strayed. Like, without putting too much out there, because again, it's still a private company.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
me. It was my dad's business and my other siblings. But there was a path that or the journey that he had planned, which didn't go as according to plan. But even in there, he said himself, there's things he should have done a lot better to ensure that we didn't feel abandoned. Yeah. And as well as he was going about it the right way for the next set of kids coming there.
And do you know what? It's one of those ones where he was a man on a journey. He had an idea. He had a plan for life. Do you understand me?
He
And
was a
Couldn't
whore.
execute.
he was, but he wasn't able to execute it as he wanted.
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
Do you understand me?
and I
So
hear that.
it was one of those ones where he is now, and from what you were saying, that he wanted to kind of be that parent now. Do you see what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? He wants to step in that level of maturity.
Yeah, but it took him
It's
like
crazy.
2 or 3, 4, maybe, I think there's like 3 or 4 years between me and my next sibling.
Because you know,
Okay.
5. So in that period, he said himself, he's like, I'll tell you, I was young and firing my balls. So I was just slinging things.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
know that raw, you lot are good back there because of the moms that you got.
Yeah.
And
So he picked his women wisely, you're saying.
It took him, it took
Wow.
the next set of kids for him to be like, raw, nah, this fatherhood, I'm doing this thing wrong. Yeah. But at that point, with whatever the point in the journey was, he couldn't then migrate back to Jamaica.
Obviously, not
So
spilling
my
too
thing
much,
is
yeah,
this-
was-
my thing is this: you could have still, like, well, he said he tried to reach out a couple of times, but wasn't successful in doing so.
I was going to ask you that because what I was going to say, is obviously not spilling too much. Like, obviously, I don't know if you ever had that conversation with your mum, but in terms of, was it a thing where she was angry
Protecting
to a
you, I'm
certain-
saying.
yeah, and just
No, the
protecting-
one thing my mom's always done is
Yeah.
she has her feelings about him.
Yeah.
I can develop my own about him. She has her view on him, and that's my auntie as well.
Yeah.
She done the same for my brother and my sister. They had their own views on my dad, and that's their personal view on it because of they knew him as a person,
Yeah.
and as a partner or whatever the term.
They had a
was.
bond
So
with him at a stage.
So they knew him for that. Whereas, with us, we don't know him. So it's on us to then make our own determination on what we are. So they've never done this thing of poisoning us against him, like all of that sort of stuff.
What
So-
did he, after having this conversation with him, you found accountability? you say you didn't want closure, but you just found
I got
reason
closure
for it. You got
years
closure before
ago.
that. So did he mention anything about your parenting now? Because obviously he's met him.
So we're getting there now. So we're getting to that now. So obviously, like I said, we went through the timeline leading up to how my other siblings came about, what that relationship looked like between him and the mums, and one of the things that my brother Ben was there as well, and Ben chimed in on the conversation. So Ben was like, just sitting here hearing certain things was angering Ben because Ben knows my dad.
Yeah.
He knows the person next to him.
Yeah.
I don't. So he could so as much as it was angering him, he understood that I don't know the person across from the table that
and
he
just
does.
to listen to find out.
And the same way, he's hearing some things from me and it's giving an insight to him. So even like Ben wasn't part of the plan, but it was good because I got to learn about my dad from Ben as well, and not because I wasn't going to do this going to each sibling to try to find out what's going on. No, we're going to have our thing. Ben was there. And Ben is the closest sibling now. The closer I'm with all of them siblings, apart from the ones I have in Jamaica. And even me and Ben spoke about a point where we were sort of connecting, and then the connection dropped on my end, And I said, you know what, I put my hands up to that. And it was close to when Maya was born as well. And I was like, I put my hands up to that. You know what? Now you're saying it, I realized what period that was. And I apologize. I own my accountability on that piece. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was good. So then we went through and he was talking with my dad and we're still talking, like I said, from like 9 till 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. Talking to like going through.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I could see it in his face to the point where he was welling up. And he was like, you know what, really, when it really hit him.
You let it all out, innit?
But yeah, I'm not going to hold back. So then he's like, because at this point we're adults.
Yeah.
So there's no need for me to be sugarcoating anything. Neither is he. Yeah. And he was like, when it really hit him for me was when Maya was born. And then I said to him, I got that because prior to all three of us, you connected with all three of us, my brother had been a dad 3 times around. Yeah. My sister has been a mom by several years now. It's me that you're seeing some sort of parenthood on. It was literally when Maya was born. So, and that's when he sat in himself.
Yeah,
I mean,
he felt that one there still, man. But it's beautiful to hear, bro. Like at the end of the day,
and you know the other bit as well before we wrap up is that one thing Ben made sure to make apparent to me, as well as my dad, is that he made sure that all the kids in the States knew of their siblings. So one of my sisters, she used to travel there back and forth.
Yeah.
And Ben was like, he made sure we knew about you lot.
Yeah.
So we were never kept a secret. It's just the connection was never made.
Just never been able to be made. Yeah.
And then when he said, like, he looked at it and he was like, no, I need to go harder to make this connection, because he doesn't want his kids not knowing each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at some point he needs to put his step forward and do right. And I was like, I can't fault a man for that.
Yeah.
Because I said it myself. It took you 16 years.
Happens at different stages in your life. You understand me?
It took you 16 years. You've tried. Then there was a gap again for another 5 or 6 years. You come back again. And we've been talking since. And I was like, going forward, what's essential now is we can't be doing hot and cold. It's consistency.
Yeah.
And it's not even just so much for me because I'm grown now, but for Maya, she can't do hot and cold. She won't know you. And since we've been back, me and my dad spoken a lot. He's cool to speak to Maya, you know, and that's what I was looking forward for.
As it added kind of a sense of relief as well in your life. But we'll touch on that next time anyway. But we're gonna touch on that next time, definitely, for sure. But
man.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Black Dad's Magic.
Yep.
Remember to click like and subscribe. You know the vibes.
Oh, one of them. Someone has to be. But my one thing I'd say off the back of that is to every parent or any dad here that it's not 3 strikes are out unless that's what's agreed with you lot. You can just keep trying and keep going.
Keep trying, keep going.
It doesn't mean that. Definitely don't
swimming.
Don't
swimming.
piss off at the beginning and then want to take 16 years though.
Yeah.
But at the same front, your effort will be acknowledged.
Will determine whether you are serious or not.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Your effort will
But
reflect
anyways.
on your determination in this world in order for you to build, guys. So
Phoebe,
I'm not even going to bother go into it because, you know, I can preach at the end of the day. But thank you guys once again. This is another wonderful episode. You get me? You know the vibes, man, them. So love each and every time. Presence over presence, guys. Take care.
See you guys.